The royals wish Prince Harry a happy 36th birthday, but what do they really think of their Netflix deal as new details emerge?
I guess it's not a bad plan B, is it? To get $100 million to take over Netflix.
Prince William is happy the kids are back to school as he helps kick off the football season with a special message.
As our national game, football is a source of togetherness and community spirit for millions.
Plus, vintage fashion expert and auctioneer Kerry Taylor tells us all about Princess Beatrice's wedding gown and her favorite royal fashion looks.
Got favourite hate ones. Gosh, they have worn some terrible things over the years. They really have. Ooh.
We've got that plus so much more in today's Royally Us. Hello to our fellow royal lovers and welcome to Royally Us. I'm Christina, that's Molly, the host of the Diva Behavior Podcast. Hi, Molly.
Hi, Christina. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good.
Got a lot to get to today. We have a lot of royal news, but of course we have to kick it off by reading some of our royal comments from our royal viewers. And let's kick it off with Bonnie says, do you think Netflix would have made this deal if Harry wasn't a prince, or to Meghan if she hadn't married a prince? Well, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, simple as that. I mean, we probably wouldn't know who they are if they weren't Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Yeah, unless you were a Suits fan or a Hallmark movie fan, you wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah, but you know, they're here, they're giving us Netflix, and we're going to have some more details about that a little bit later on in the show. But next one goes to M. Hoogland Halterman, says, Beatrice looks stunning in the dress from the Queen indeed. Have to agree by that.
Agree. I love that dress. That was probably my favorite royal wedding dress ever. It was just so one of a kind.
It really was. It was absolutely stunning. And then W. Farris says, this is how Americans do it. No bashing or trashing, just clean royal updates. I wanted to throw that one in because we got a lot of hate last week.
It's good. You like us. You really like us.
You like us. You really like us. But yeah, we got a lot of hate last week, but that's okay. We're going to keep on coming. Yeah. But we, of course, no matter whether you hate us, you love us, keep on commenting and keep subscribing because we love seeing what you guys have to say. All right, let's move on to our royal roundup, our royal news of the week. And Prince Harry celebrated his 36th birthday. And of course, the royals wished him a happy birthday on social media. But the photo that William and Kate chose to use is getting a lot of people talking.
Right. So the photo, it shows William, Kate, and Harry racing. And Harry's winning, which could be symbolic in some way. And Meghan's not in the photo. So all the comments are like, where's Meghan? Where's Meghan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people were like, why didn't they show a photo of the four of them or just of Harry and Meghan? So a lot of people were commenting on that. A lot of people were saying, oh, William's always trying to race after Harry and kind of rein him in a little bit. But maybe, like you said, maybe there is some symbolism to that photo.
Yeah, maybe. That was a trend across the different birthday wishes was Meghan was not in any of the photos.
That's true. Yeah, the Queen released a photo, Prince Charles released a photo, and Meghan was not in any of the photos. But I'd have to go back and double check to see if Harry was in the photos that Meghan, if Harry was in the photos when they wished Meghan a happy birthday. I have to go back and double check that.
Right. Yeah. I don't think we can immediately call shade on this one because it's not Meghan's birthday.
Right. It's all about Harry, and that's how we have to keep it. But I did like that Prince Charles did a nice little throwback of him and Harry together. So that was really nice. And they sent some really special birthday wishes. Who knows if they are going to jump on a Zoom call later and maybe they'll all wish him a happy birthday over video chat. But if we get details, we'll bring you that next week.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All right, let's move on to Prince William. He's been laying low for a couple of weeks, but this week he kicked it back into high gear and was working really hard. He kicked things off by meeting with emergency responders in Belfast and then spoke with police volunteers. So take a look at this.
This has already been an extraordinary year. The months ahead will no doubt be uncertain and at some point scary. But thanks to the dedication and sacrifice of those of you working across the emergency services and in the NHS, I count myself and others in this country very fortunate.
So we haven't seen Prince William in a couple of weeks, but he's been busy again.
Yeah, this was a big week for William.
Mm-hmm. It really was.
Yeah, so he traveled to Belfast by surprise to talk to these emergency responders. And the reason why he did it this week is because September 9th is 999 Day, and 999 is the British version of 911. That's what they dial over here when there's an emergency. So he went for September 9th to go talk to them.
Yeah, definitely. It was a nice way to mark the occasion, kind of giving back to the volunteers. So I'm sure they all appreciated that. He also took some time out. I don't think that this was a hard task for him to do because we know that he's a big football fan, but the football season kicked off and he sent a very special message. Take a look.
I want to say a huge thank you to every single football club and fan that has helped those affected by the pandemic. The support you have given to your communities this year is a true testament to the spirit of football in this country. Thank you, and best of luck for the season ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think that they had to ask him twice to do this one.
Right. He loves football. He supports this team called Aston Villa, which I had never heard of. Have you heard of them?
No, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, apparently he wanted to go against the grain and support a team that his parents and his brother didn't support. So mission accomplished. It's sort of an obscure one. But I do think it's cool how he has said that he's using football as a way to get men to open up about their mental health.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. You know, mental health is such a big priority to him, to Duchess Kate, to Harry. So it's nice that he kind of marries the two things that he really enjoys together, and kind of, it's a good way to get the word out.
Yeah. And I also found it really interesting how he said a few years ago, this was, I think, at his Belfast visit, he was saying how they were trying to get celebrities to join them in the Heads Together campaign, and no celebrities wanted to touch the issue of mental health because it was too controversial. And now it seems like everyone's talking about it. So I think they're really, they're doing a good job raising awareness.
They really are. They definitely are. And we have to mark our calendars for October 10th because William will also be doing his first ever free TED conference, which is actually pretty cool. And he's actually doing this about climate change.
Yeah, it's great. He loves talking about climate change. He gets it from his father. Prince Charles has really been a longtime advocate of paying attention to the environment and cleaning up our act. So this is nothing new for him. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely. We will be marking our calendars and talking all about that. But we also got some more information this week about Queen Elizabeth and how she's going to be spending her fall. I think we talked a little bit about last week how she wasn't going to be returning to Buckingham Palace, but now it seems like she will be, occasionally.
Yes, it seems that from about mid-October onward, she's going to be visiting Buckingham Palace for garden parties and events, and, well, maybe not a garden party, but smaller events with different people and everything. So she will be back and forth, and she's going to be staying at Windsor Castle, which is really close by. Yeah,
really close by. And it's nice that they're taking the proper precautions. We don't know if Prince Phillip will be making these trips because as he's 99, almost 100, and he hasn't been in the best health. So he may be staying back.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, she will be going back and forth, and it'll be nice to see her back at Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Well, in the meantime, the Queen has teamed up with Duchess Kate to support her Hold Still campaign and wrote a message to mark the exhibit's launch. This is really cool. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks. Kate has asked a lot of people to submit photos of their time during quarantine, during lockdown, and it's nice that the Queen supported her in this endeavor.
Right, and the photos are gorgeous.
So pretty.
If you go onto the National Portrait Gallery's website, you can see them all, and they're just amazing.
They really are. It really captured, all the highs, all the lows during this time. And, there was 3 categories that people had to kind of fit in these. It was helpers and heroes, your new normal, and acts of kindness. So it seems like a lot of people really captured those moments. So it was really cool.
Yeah, and the Queen released a letter to all of the participants, and she said she was inspired by the photos, and she said that they captured the resilience of the British people at such a challenging time.
Definitely, it definitely did, and and we know photography is something that's really special to Kate as well. So it was nice that she was able to kind of bring everybody together during this. So I liked it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Meghan Markle. She also had something to celebrate this week. The first anniversary of the launch of her Smart Set, her workwear capsule collection. Take a look.
And people can say that so much of SmartWorks is about the clothes themselves, but it's really not, all of that stuff is the exterior, but it's what it does for you on the inside that ends up being the best accessory. Right? It's the confidence. It's what built within that is the piece that you walk out of that room with and walk into that interview with that will take you to the next layer of success. And that's what I love so much about the organization.
So this is actually a really cool thing that she is doing. Smart Set actually helps helps women get prepared for job interviews.
Right. And that is so important. I mean, like Meghan says in the interview that she did, in the Zoom conversation that she did with these women, it just helps boost your confidence so much to have the right clothes and the right accessories. It sounds so trivial, but it does make such a big deal.
Right. It does. If you feel good on the inside, you're going to exude that confidence as well. So it's nice that she's still, even though she's taken a step back from the royal family, that this is something that she's still involved in.
Right, absolutely.
All right, now it is time to spill the royalty, and we're getting a little bit more information on Harry and Meghan's mega Netflix deal from Netflix co-CEO Reed Hastings. He broke it all down on CNBC. Take a look.
Going to be epic entertainment. So excited about that deal. Well, look, they're smart. They were shopping it around across, all of the major companies. And I think we really put together the best complete package. And, we're going to do a wide range of entertainment with them. I can't tell you any more than that about it at this point, but I think it'll be some of the most exciting, most viewed content next year.
So it seems like he said, this is going to be epic.
Yeah, it sounds like they're going to be touching every aspect of Netflix's content.
Yeah. It really does. It seems like they are kind of going to be taking over. And what was interesting to me when the reporter asked if Meghan was going to be acting at all, he didn't say no.
Right. He just said their focus is on producing, but plenty of actors produce their own stuff.
Totally. Who knows? Maybe she'll do some more voiceover work like she did with Disney. But yeah, he definitely left the door open on that one.
Yeah, I really am excited to see the animated children's series that they're apparently working on. It's about inspiring women. Yeah. So that sounds really nice.
It does sound really nice. Yeah, they're doing children's series. They're doing documentaries, docuseries. They're kind of doing a little bit of everything. So it'll be interesting to see when the content will come out. I think it's going to be sometime next year. So they are definitely working hard.
Yes. And if they're taking requests, I would love to see a cribs tour of their house.
My God, totally. Totally. We are also getting some information on how the royal family actually feels about all of this. So we got reporting that, maybe the royal family is a little bit uncomfortable about this in case they do something that would spill some royal family secrets, but they are happy for them. But this probably just wasn't the venture that they thought that they were going to go in. And there's also been some reportings that this was kind of plan B for them because they were really kind of banking on Sussex Royal.
Right. I mean, I guess it's not a bad plan B, is it? To get $100 million to take over Netflix.
Seriously. But what's interesting to me is that it seems like they're not going to get the privacy that they wanted, that they so longed for. But now you're doing this gigantic deal. And, your kind of privacy is thrown out the window.
Right. It doesn't really seem like privacy is the number one goal here. It seems like maybe building a career in entertainment and content is the goal, and privacy is maybe like third or fourth on the list.
Yeah. We're just going to kind of bump that down a little bit more. All right, it's time to break down the royal rules. Last week, we told you all about Princess Beatrice's dress going on display at Windsor Castle. And this week, to help us break that all down and to help us talk all about royal fashion in general, is vintage fashion expert and auctioneer Kerry Taylor. When you first saw her Norman Hartnell gown, what did you think?
I thought it looked fantastic. She's a very similar shape to the Queen when the Queen was young. She's got very small waist, great boobs, and the dress, the dress was designed to emphasize those rather good points. So I thought it looked wonderful.
And so now that this dress is about to go on display in Windsor, what goes into preserving something like that and, putting it on display for everybody to see?
Well, there will have been a mannequin specially made so that it will exactly fit the dress. You can't have one that's too small, and you certainly can't have one that's too big because it absolutely wrecks it. It has to really support the dress because it's going to be on display for months and months and months. And of course, this is heavily bejeweled. It's covered in rhinestones. So it's whatever is beneath it really has to help support it. It will be within glass, it will be inside a case, it will not be affected by dust. It will be in a very dimly lit room. You'll need a torch to find it probably, because because that's how we try. The lux levels have to be low. But you know, with a dress like that, with low lux levels, it's just going to look magical, because all of those brilliants will just twinkle in whatever light there is. So it will look amazing.
Do you have a favorite royal wedding dress?
Ooh, that's a difficult one. That's hard. I actually liked Meghan's, the Claire Waite Keller Givenchy, because it was just so simple and beautiful. And she just looked fabulous in it. I thought Princess Diana's dress, the Emmanuel dress, it was of its time. It was new romantic. It's like the little girl's fairy tale princess wedding dress, you know, acres of taffeta and silk and bows. But not for me. It's not, I mean, sorry, I know the Emmanuel's very well, but it's, you know, of its time, it was great. But I think the Queen's it was called Primavera, the style, and it was covered in flowers. 1947, covered in flowers, not for me. Princess Anne's was a bit gothic, and that was by Susan Small. No. So I think really, yeah, and McQueen, we had the McQueen dress that Kate wore, although I think her sister Pippa upstaged her with the bridesmaid's dress.
Yeah, that's true.
With all the buttons. So I actually think Meghan's choice of Givenchy Haute Couture was absolutely perfect. It was a little bit, if I might just add, it was a little bit on the large size. I don't know if she lost weight just before, but I felt that whoever had done the fitting, they just needed to have fitted it slightly better. But in terms of the style, it was simple. It was very sort of almost monastic. It was beautiful.
How do you get some of the dresses that you auction when you get these iconic dresses?
Well, I'm quite famous for doing it, I suppose.
That helps.
So that helps. But yes, I mean, I have sold so many dresses that belong to Princess Diana in particular, which I'm very well known for. But actually, I was also very excited to have the see-through mesh dress that Kate Middleton wore as a student when she was up in university in Edinburgh. And apparently it was this see-through dress. It was meant to be a skirt, actually, and she kind of yanked it up and wore it as a dress.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And, you know, and she had a great figure. So yeah, she definitely caught Prince William's eye that night. And the rest is history, as they say.
That's amazing. I didn't know that was supposed to be a skirt and that she kind of changed it up.
Oh yeah.
That was very Kim Kardashian of her.
I think it shows. I think it shows great enterprise and I don't know, a little bit of naughtiness somehow. I think it's rather nice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you sold Diana's probably most iconic dress, that famous black dress that she wore when she was dancing with John Travolta. I mean, what was it like just even having that dress in your possession and, you know, knowing that it was going to find a good home?
Well, it's interesting because it's actually midnight blue. It's so dark, it looks black in all the photographs, but it's actually some midnight blue. And it was lovely because Victor Edelstein, who designed it, I met with him and we talked about the dress and his ideas for it. And yeah, I mean, I think for America, it's the most important dress, definitely. I think there are other dresses which are more lavish. It was, in essence, very, very simple. But it also, these dresses all tell stories. And at this point in her life, she'd lost quite a lot of weight. She was very nervous. It was her first trip to America. And she wanted to dance with her hero, John Travolta, you know. And Nancy Reagan very quietly organised for that to happen. And yeah, it was just, you could see she was so happy at that moment. You know, she was joyous. I don't think Prince Charles necessarily was so pleased, because I think she stole the show, but she tended to do that anyway, wherever she went.
Do you have a favorite royal look of all time?
And of course, I forgot the revenge dress.
Yes, of course.
The cocktail dress that she wore by Christina Stavropoulos. And she wore that at the Serpentine Gallery the night after Prince Charles had admitted adultery on British television. And she just looked radiant, magnificent, glorious. And, that dress just, basically said, look what you're missing. Who's sorry now, kind of thing. I thought that was probably a great fashion moment, in terms of royal, in terms of, royal clothing, and also in terms of feminism in a way. It's where a woman took a dress and used it to show that she was strong and she didn't care anymore. And I thought that was terrific. So I'm going to go for that one.
Moving on to our royal history moment of the week. On September 14th, 1981, Queen Elizabeth was unharmed when a shooter fired 6 blank shots at her during the Trooping of the Color. This was kind of before my time, but I didn't know about this. It's so scary. You see the footage and it's nuts.
It is really scary. And I also didn't know about it. I knew about Princess Anne having an attempted kidnapping, but this is new to me.
Yeah. And, we see in the footage that, she remained pretty calm about everything, but, it just goes to show, like, anything can happen. It's really, really scary. So glad everybody is okay. And, like being the queen that she is, she kind of just rode off on that horse and she's like, watch me go.
I'm proud of the horse too, honestly.
Seriously. Yeah, no, that could have been a terrible, terrible thing. But apparently it was the 17-year-old person that tried to do this. He was jailed. He attempted to write her a letter to apologize. Never heard back. Not surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then the royal family also took some time to remember the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Britain this week. They all took to social media to kind of mark this occasion.
Right. That was really nice to see. And I think it's good to see things that remind us of the Second World War, because while we're not in a world war right now, we are in an unprecedented time. And, sometimes it's good to remember that people have gotten through maybe worse than this.
Yeah, no, totally. It is nice that they all kind of took some time to remember that. All right, Molly, before we wrap up, we have to check in on our royal kiddos and our pint-sized palace. And like a ton of parents, Prince William is very happy that George and Charlotte are back in school.
Yes, he said it's been a huge relief, and he said it's been a long 5 months.
It has. It definitely has. They've been very open and honest in Zoom videos about, how they've been spending their time and how these kids have an endless amount of energy, and no matter how many activities they do, it just doesn't seem to be enough.
Right. And I remember the Duchess of Cambridge said at one point that they didn't tell the kids they were supposed to be on spring break. They just lied because they couldn't handle, I guess, them not having anything to do all day, which is hilarious.
I love that. Well, they aren't totally off the hook because Prince Louis is too young to go to school, so he is at home. But I'm sure managing 1 as opposed to 3 is a lot easier.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we wish them a very happy school year, like all the other kids that have just gone back to school. All right, Molly, thank you so much for running down all things royals with me.
Thank you, Christina.
All right, for everybody, keep commenting, keep subscribing, and make sure to watch Royally Us every Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. on Us Weekly's YouTube channel. We'll see you next week.